Hello, my name is Miguel, and welcome to another episode of IPoly. On today's episode, we will be covering seniors and their college applications, last week's Spirit Week, and the athletic department, as well as small segments from other clubs. So first, we'll head on to Matthew to inform us on college apps, and as well as give us an insight with our counselors.
Hi, Ms. Vasquez. Do you have anything that you would like to tell our seniors for college applications?
So we know the college application process can be overwhelming and with so many great options. So the first step would be to make a list. Make a list of the colleges that you're interested, the location, why you want to go there, and also make sure that the college that you're applying to or that you're interested in has your major. So the application for UCs and CSUs is due November 30th. Next week, Mr. Anapol and I will be going into your government class and going over some FAFSA information, so be ready with your questions. And also, if you are needing letters of recommendation, make sure to upload those to Naviance so we can get those started for you and your teachers can get those as well. And just keep an eye out on the Google Classroom for college presentations, scholarship opportunities, and other important information related to college applications. If you have any questions, you can always stop by the Connection Center, make an appointment with Mr. Anapol or with me, and we will be more than happy to assist you in your college process.
And secondly, what advice do you have for students asking teachers for letters of recommendations?
When asking your teachers for letters of recommendation, make sure to provide your teachers with the brag sheet. This will help your teachers write an excellent letter of recommendation, and also make sure you give them at least 2 weeks in advance. It takes a very long time to write a good letter of recommendation, so make sure you give your teachers enough time to write a great letter for you.
Hi, Mr. Apple. Is there any requirements that you would like to tell the seniors for community service?
As far as community service is concerned, yes, you have to have 100 hours in by the end of the year, and hopefully most of you have done a lot of it. I know the last year and a half has been especially difficult with just the pandemic, but community service tips, one is, try and do something public service wise in your community. You can volunteer at a library, at your former school, at an animal rescue. The other advice I always give students is to do something that you're passionate about, just something that may be interested, maybe something involved with something that you want to do in the future. They have to have 100 total, and so I think it's 50 for the senior class if you already have 50. Another thing that I would recommend is maybe do some of your community service based on whatever your capstone project is. Maybe you can volunteer with that in some way, depending on what your community service project is. You probably have to interview a couple people who are involved in that endeavor, so maybe you can ask them to volunteer.
And me, along with some other seniors, have been wanting to complete the FAFSA. What are the things that I need to complete the FAFSA?
In regards to FAFSA, the only tips that I'm really going to give you involve making sure that you have a lot of paperwork with you and you have your parents around you when you start doing FAFSA, because you really need your parents' help, because it's actually, the whole family income from the 2020 year that determines how much of a financial aid that you're entitled to during this next round of FAFSA, which you have to turn in by March 2nd. The other thing is have your social security information with you, have just everything. Also have your parents' information as well, their birth dates, the years they were born, just what you're going to be turning into the FAFSA people is your parents' W-2 forms, which is how much money they made, again, during the 2020 year.
Thank you for your time.
We also have an interview with the two new counselors here at IPoly. Here's Matthew once again with an interview.
Can you please introduce yourself?
Sure. So I'm Sharon Jane. I'm the new school social worker. And this is?
My name is Manuel Gagos, and I am one of the intern mental social workers.
And so I know social worker can seem like a scary word, but really what we're here to do is figure out how we can best partner with all of the students as well as the staff and parents to help everyone's well-being be in a good place. So that could be mental health, that could be physical health, that could be anything really just related to your well-being, and figuring out what resources that you guys could use. So if you have any feedback for us, please feel free to follow up with us. Manny is across from Ginger's office. I'm usually here. At some point we might move you into here. We'll have to figure that out where everyone's sitting. But yeah, feel free. My name is Sharon again. This is Manny. We'd love to meet you.
What do you guys do before coming to IPoly?
I'm still doing it. I'm currently a flight attendant for a major airline. Been a flight attendant for 15 years. I've also done different types of internships and counseling at different other facilities. I worked at LGBT centers. I worked with transgender population. I worked with adults. And I've gone to school. I'm attending Kelsey at Long Beach right now. So that's what I've done before and continue to be doing.
So this is a second career for me. Prior to this career, I worked at Taco Bell on the e-commerce team. And so there I was talking to consumers and trying to figure out what they found useful about products and what they didn't like about products so that I could help develop new products. But yes, now I'm in this field, and for me it's really an amazing step for me because I love working with kids, and I love working with just helping people, and for me that's awesome. This is not I'm sorry. And so prior to this, I worked at a group home, a men's group home, and most of the clients there had psychotic disorders or substance abuse. And then prior to that, I worked at Olive Crest, and they primarily do mental health for clients that are in the foster care system, as well as anybody who is a lower income type of population. I've also worked in the school systems at a high school in Orange County. But yeah, that's me.
How did you guys find out about IPoly?
About IPoly through Kelsey at Long Beach, the school I'm attending right now. And so I was pretty excited. I've never really been out. I'm born and raised in LA, and never been out to this part of LA. And so pretty excited to start working here. I Googled IPoly and I saw the school and how it focused really on college, preparing the students to go to college and find some kind of career path. And so I was really excited to start working here.
I think for me, I'm a Southern California native, so I've always heard about IPoly, but the Cal Poly Pomona campus itself, and then how IPoly is on the college campus for me is really interesting, because I know that this school in general has high performing learners, and just that whole idea of project-based learning is really interesting to me. It's a different way of learning, but when you think about how we apply those theories in real world, that's exactly how it is. Everything is pretty much project based, and so I think it's a really good way to prepare students to function in the real world. But yeah, I'm excited to be here as well, and hopefully we'll get to meet you guys soon.
Thank you for taking the time to be interviewed. Next up, we have last week's Spirit Week, which was covered by Sammy, and let's head on over to Sammy to give us a recap of last week.
Hi, this is Sammy from Ion IPoly, and today we have Miss Natalie from ASB, and we're going to interview her about the upcoming Spirit Week. So, Miss Natalie, how were some of the planning process of the Spirit Week?
So we obviously wanted to incorporate Halloween into all of our Spirit Week days, and we wanted to do a bunch of Halloween themes. So on Monday we have The Nightmare Before Christmas, so you just come in your PJs. You can come in Halloween PJs, Christmas PJs, anything is fine. And we love to start off the first day of Spirit Week on Monday with PJs, because who doesn't love wearing PJs on Monday? On Tuesday, it's Beetlejuice themed, so just come in stripes. On Wednesday, it's the Ghostbusters, so come wearing all white, and it'll be really cool because the whole school will be wearing white. On Thursday, it's the Great Big Pumpkin, and you can wear any like Halloween colors, or you can wear like flannels. And then on Friday, we're doing like a Halloween Town themed. So you come in like your costume, or you can also wear Halloween colors. And we will also be having like a Halloween costume contest, which will be really, really fun.
And here's a montage of Friday.
Thank you, Sammy, for covering last week's Spirit Week, and congratulations to all the costume winners. Last but not least, we have Vinny covering the athletics department as well as interviewing players from both the volleyball and football team. Let's check it out.
I'm Vinny, and today I'm here to interview athletes about the Southland Sports Program. So Taylor, how has COVID affected sports for you?
So COVID has greatly affected football, mainly because we missed out on my sophomore season, and it slowed down things and it slowed down progression, and we did miss out on a few of the senior players, but we're coming back better and we're doing all right.
Cool. So what has your favorite game been so far that you've played?
My favorite game is probably when we played Calvary, because we actually put up quite a few points on the board and I scored a touchdown and I did pretty good that game, and it was overall a pretty fun game.
Cool. So will you be returning next year?
I will be returning next year for my senior season.
Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And I'm here with
Matthew.
So Matthew, how has COVID affected sports?
It's been a lot more strict when it comes to playing games because we have to get COVID tests and get results before the game. It also requires us wearing masks when we're not playing the actual games and just being around in the locker rooms or just before practice.
I see. So, what's the favorite game that you've played so far?
Well, my favorite game would be Cal Baptist because we did better than most games in that game, and then just when we were there, we were enjoying the game and we were having fun, and the whole vibe from the team was great.
Do you have a favorite moment from that game?
No, I don't think I do. The whole game itself was just enjoyable.
So, will you be joining next year?
I wish I could, but because I'm a senior, I cannot play for high school next year. There might be a chance that I play in college, but that's not a for sure thing.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure interviewing you.
I'm Jordan, and I'm a senior on the volleyball team. COVID has affected sports in a really big way. We have to go outside if we want to drink water in between the games. We have to wear masks at all times, even for CIF. You can get disqualified if you don't have your mask on. I'd say it's a lot harder because it's something to get used to. You have to continuously be breathing, and if you can't, you slow down in the game. So you have to build up. You have to build up your breathing to it.
What was your favorite match or game that you played?
I'd like to say my favorite match or game would be our first tournament, where we went up to the gold and we almost won, but we got second place. But it was still a really good game for all of our rounds.
And what was your favorite moment during the senior game?
I like to say my favorite moment during the senior game is the actual clip that Mr. Daly took of us, where it was a full senior lineup in the front row, and I got a really nice kill, and they blocked it, but it still went down on their side.
Thank you to everyone we interviewed. And if you're interested in joining sports through IPoly, you can contact me or any other student athlete about joining, and we'll help you join. Thank you, and back to the news.
Thank you to the volleyball and football players who took time to be interviewed. Also, here are the winners of IPoly's UNICEF fundraising contest. Congratulations to 12th grade South House for coming in first, 12th grade East House for coming in second, and 12th grade North House for coming in third. We raised a total of $630. Thank you to all the people who donated. Here's the last quick minute tip from Matthew with an Eco Action Club announcement.
Here's Eco Action's Eco Tips. Try growing rosemary and basil, and once they've grown, you could use them instead of having to buy seasonings. Secondly, a way to reduce plastic usage is to use a tote bag when getting groceries. For more information, visit ipoly.ecoaction on Instagram or join one of our general meetings.
Thank you for joining us on this episode, and this has been your Eye on IPoly.